What's going on? This is Marcel, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness, and the goal for this video is to do my pull-ups and do my pull-ups at different angles. Doing pull-ups at different angles is something that I fell in love with. I don't even know how long ago, probably at least 18 years ago, if not longer, but that's again something that I prefer to do, love to do, no reason not to do. But that also depends on how my shoulder feels when I try to go out wide. But I've learned that instead of doing wide grip pull-ups first, it seems like I have to go shoulder width or narrow first. In fact, I don't remember the last time I've done narrow first, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So for those of us that are bigger and heavier, it's less likely you'll do as many pull-ups compared to those who might weigh at least 60 pounds less than me. At least 40 or more pounds less than me, to where they might do more pull-ups. And then depending on how many sets you do. So I believe I'm doing 2 sets. So one more set of those. And then I gotta figure out whether or not I'm gonna do shoulder width or go ahead and do wide and then do shoulder width. So as far as whether the rotation matters, again, I used to do wide grip pull-ups first to get the most difficult one out of the way, but lately, I think it was as of this year, at some point this year, whenever I did it, and maybe it was like that before, I just didn't realize it as much, but to do wide grip pull-ups first, and sometimes it feels like my shoulder might literally give out, and I don't think it's impressive or worth it to keep doing that and forcing myself like I'm gonna do these pull-ups. If you can figure out what to do first or whether you do certain things at all, bless me please, whether you do certain things first, later, or not do it at all, do wide grip pull downs instead. So now I just do one of these first and then see if I do wide grip, and that's for me, especially being a guy that's not light. Okay, to at least try it. Alright, and then depending on how heavy you lift, you take at least 2 minutes for most of us, specifically those of us who lift certain loads, heavier loads, or at least try to lift heavier loads. I am a heavy load, so when it comes to pull-ups, so obviously doing push-ups and step-ups and squats and stuff like that, but with pull-ups and you weigh a certain amount, I'm not sure why I'm yawning, but with pull-ups and you weigh a certain amount, weighing 260 or more, shoot, weighing 250 or more for certain people. You're lucky to be able to do pull-ups at all, let alone trying to do 3 or more reps. So at one point in my life, I did 38 pull-ups, but I think I was 23 when I did that. 23 or 24. I'm assuming I was 23. Because I don't think I had any other motivation to try to do that many pull-ups ever again, and just focus on trying to lift as heavy as I can compared to trying to do as many reps as I can. Doing as many reps as I can is boring. So doing as many reps as I can is boring. So, for me to try to lift a certain load compared to trying to see how many reps I can do, and see if I can do 1 or 2 sets of whatever number, and living where I live compared to where I'm from is usually not that hot, but it's been very warm around here since June, like the 2nd or 3rd week of June. But now all of a sudden we're getting all these cooler days after almost 90 days of heat and not getting much rain and the grass looking awful. Where now like every other day is gonna rain, so good for nature. So 1 set there. I believe I'm gonna try to at least do a 2nd set, and then move the Swizzy in. That's what that's called, the piece that I'm using. If you can actually see it, for those who haven't seen it. So depending on where you're doing your pull-ups, and like if you have a rack like this and you're only able to do pull-ups pronated, so now if you have this, you can actually as well as some other pieces. I don't remember if those are called Swizzies as well, but some other pieces I have to where you can do it's hard to remember. So it's not a pull-up, but I guess it would be a chin up / underhand pull-up, to where you're working your bicep more than some other muscles. Still working your back, but more bicep than back. So the fact that there are so many people who do underhand chin ups or whatever, and it's better than nothing. But I think a lot of people do certain exercises and more focus on, hey, I can do this, and it's like, no. No, pull-ups, chin-ups, curl-ups, depending on what you're doing, is doing things different. So if you're doing certain things and trying to brag to people about it, or people who do pull-ups try to do pull-ups and they barely bend their elbow, if at all, and yeah, big guys can do pull-ups. Like, you barely moved. If everybody did pull-ups the way that you did, everybody should be able to do like 50 reps. But it has to be more about the movement and whether or not you can actually do it, compared to you trying to convince yourself and others that you can do stuff. So, but at the same time, when you see people doing certain pull-ups and it looks like the nose or the chin doesn't go to the bar, something that wasn't talked about decades before is that there's no need to go that damn high, whether you weigh less or not, to do pull-ups at a certain degree, to where if you come to here, you're good compared to a lot of people have spent decades trying to do like this. That's not good for your shoulder, and again, that includes lighter people. There's a lot of people who don't know, don't understand. If you don't care, that's a whole different thing, but for people who don't know or don't care, but you're working your muscles, again, a lot of people I think are thinking they're supposed to come all the way up. That's not really helping anything. That's actually doing more damage. And that goes for dips and shoulder presses, and chest presses as well. So again, you try to come up and try to come to at least here if you can. But to do more than that is doing more damage than good. Yes, it is. All right. I can hear the rain. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear the rain. With high hopes that when I get ready to leave later, it doesn't rain on me. I don't mind rain if I'm not in it. So, so now to do shoulder width or close enough to it, pull-ups and 2 sets of whatever I can get. See if I can do at least 4. Especially to do at least 4 without it bothering my shoulder in any way. Again, it's different. Some people might say otherwise, but it's different depending on level experience, your size, your weight, experience, how many sets you're trying to do. So, I go back and forth on whether or not I try 1 set and try to do 6 or more reps, and that probably is something I might actually do for a while. Do 1 set of 6 or 6 or 8, and then move on to a different angle and just do all 3 sets. But before doing all this, I did dumbbell rows, 123 pounds. I didn't record that for YouTube. I recorded that for a different platform. So that's not on here, at least this time. I've done it other times. So if you want to look around on my channel and see it there, but including I think I've done my max lift with dumbbells on here. So you want to look around and find that. Alright, so do these 2 sets, and then I might actually do a standing lat pull down today. I kind of doubt it, but I might, so we'll see. So pull-ups and dips are my favorite. Which is interesting, because I think usually if somebody says that certain things is their favorite, It's probably because it's easy to do. If you can, it's easy for someone to be able to do 20 or more pull-ups, and yeah, this is my favorite. And like, yeah, why wouldn't it be if it's easy for you to do? So the fact that there are so many people who can't do pull-ups at all, so many people who can't do dips at all, regardless of their age and experience, or can't do that many reps, uh, and the number of reps for pull-ups, I understand that. But when it comes to dips and people not being able to do a certain number of reps, and depending on the form that certain people are using, doesn't make much sense to me. So, but you know, hopefully you keep practicing, get better and better, depending on how you're trying to get better in terms of more reps or multiple sets of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is that you're going to at least try to do. Shoot, maybe even just one set of 4 or more reps using your own body weight. But do what works for you. Hopefully it's fun, but even if it's not fun, hopefully you have a real good reason to why you're doing it. And hopefully it works for you. Right. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Enjoyed this video for those who like pull-ups, those who like seeing certain things in terms of anyone lifting certain loads. And again, for I am a heavy load, being I think I was like 258 pounds last I checked. So to be 258 pounds and doing pull-ups at all, and then to be able to do pull-ups at different angles and multiple sets. So I only did what, at least three pull-ups for each one. But better than not being able to do any. Hopefully you enjoy stuff like that. And then if you do enjoy stuff like that and want to see more, especially if you look through my channel at all to see some of the other stuff that I've done and wanting to see more, there's quite a bit of stuff I do hope to do and share with you guys. This is stuff that I actually care about doing. This is the lifestyle is not a hobby. It is what it is in terms of it being a lifestyle. This is stuff that I've been doing before some of you were even born, or some of you were babies. So this is something that I actually care about, something I actually love to do, something that I hope that I continue to do. I don't know about pull-ups, because I remember a guy saying something when I was 20. Shoot, I wish I can remember how young I was. I was 20 something, and I think I was doing pull-ups, and some reason this guy who I think was 40 something at the time, and he goes, "You're gonna be doing pull-ups until you're 80." And I'm like, how is it that certain people see certain people and say certain things, good or bad? But I did pull-ups. I don't remember how many reps I did, and all of a sudden he comes up and, "You're gonna be doing pull-ups until you're 80." Okay, so So, again, just the fact that this is a lifestyle for me, I'm not doing it to be impressive or trendy or anything like that. This is stuff that I actually do. This is actually part of my workout for Mondays. So depending on when certain people see this, but I do back stuff on Mondays. Um, Compared to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because I work out 4 days and try to utilize Friday, Saturday, Sunday to recover, seeing that I like to lift as heavy as I can. So hopefully taking Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, come Monday, hopefully I'm good to go, because I haven't done much of anything as far as this. I've done other stuff, but not this. So do what works for you. And then if you're doing stuff that's not working for you, which is the reason certain people actually watch some of these videos trying to learn something, especially to learn something without paying for it. So to learn something, try something different, try something new, try something that seems like it's more fun. I don't know about pull-ups necessarily being fun, but it is a favorite of mine, pull-ups and dips. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you subscribe so that you are directly notified whenever I post again. Lord willing, I'm around to keep posting and help people along their journey. We're depending on where you are at this point in your life. Um, again, so hopefully you subscribe so you're directly notified whenever there's a post of some sort. I don't know if people get notifications when they're shorts, but this isn't a short, so getting your notifications. Hopefully you share the video, because I know I'm older than YouTube, I'm older than Google. So when I was growing up, if I could have seen certain things, so I had, instead of hoping that I see certain commercials and seeing stuff in certain shows, certain movies, and using that as motivation. For those of us who grew up watching the first, three Rocky movies, um, so if I had YouTube or something to where I could have seen more videos and had more of an idea of what was possible. So again, this is pull-ups. So, but as far as some of the other stuff that I'm doing, and being in my 40s and still doing some of this stuff, and then trying to see if I might be able to lift heavier. I had a goal to do an incline chest press with 150 pounds. I failed at that, but see if I still have the motivation to try that again at some point this year. What was that? About a month ago when I tried it, because I wanted to do it around my birthday, either before or after my birthday. I think I tried it a few days before and I failed, so it's been over a month. So we'll see if I do it next month, in September, October, whatever. So see if I try that again. But again, for you to subscribe, share with people who might like stuff like this, specifically from me. And then press the like button. Again, not only does that help me, that'll help other people who are interested in stuff like this. And then not only this, other stuff that I'm doing, especially for those of us who lift certain loads and care about stuff like that. So again, hopefully you enjoyed it. This is Martone, owner and trainer, Fuller Fitness. Take care.